Graeme, you just returned from Voiceover Atlanta 2018, and you've been to so many conferences, so many seminars, and I'm dying to know. And Jeff and I have only really participated in one, and this was in 2014, and that was in Anaheim because it was local, probably. I think these are really great assets. I'm thinking they are for talent when they're probably at the sophomore state, I'm guessing. I mean, you tell me, what do you think are the greatest benefits of hitting these seminars or not seminars, but conferences when they're location oriented?
I think that there's something for voice actors at all levels, whether you're a newbie or a sophomore, as you describe it, or even if you're more advanced. I think one of the first benefits is that we lead very solitary lives. We're the only actors in the entire industry that are expected to do 95% of our work alone in a dark little booth and in the basement of our houses. You know, stage actors and on-camera actors are completely baffled by this isolation we find ourselves.
It's pitiful. I know. It's pitiful. I feel like, yes, I know. I feel isolated. Go ahead.
So that's one of the big benefits, is that you realize you're not alone when you go to one of these conferences, and the ability to commiserate and to celebrate with people who lead the same kind of existence you do is really quite liberating and quite encouraging.
Yeah, cool. What was the greatest takeaway that you felt from this last conference that you came back from Atlanta?
At VO Atlanta, there was a lot of talk about rates, about the this perception that rates are declining rapidly, and what are we going to do about it? There was a lot of talk about voices.com and what is the outcome of their acquisition of voicebank.net and what the Voice Agents Alliance is doing in order to counter. There was a lot of talk around solidarity when it comes to dealing with this existential threat of voices.com to the business, and about the just general declining rates.
But what do you feel? So they were talking about rates. They were talking about, a variety of things. Was there some speaker or something in particular that came out that you felt that was like, wow, that was something different for you, the takeaway for you where you went, wow, that was a light bulb moment where that could be a game changer?
Well, Townsend Coleman was inspiring. There's no doubt. He's an excellent actor. He has achieved the pinnacle of success in Los Angeles when it comes to voice acting. He's been a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, not just once, but twice. and he does just a ton of promo work for the major networks. He's a very busy and versatile actor. And he was inspiring. There's no other way to describe it. His keynote was incredible and really left you feeling encouraged.
Oh, that's great.
It's great considering that, some of the tone, the general tone of some of the other segments around rates discussions and the evolution of the business was somewhat, darker in nature.
And do you think that's because of Voices, taking over VoiceBank? Do you think it was because of that?
I think that Voices taking over VoiceBank is more a symptom than it is the problem itself. I think that the business is evolving, just like many businesses have evolved as a result of digital technologies.
Yeah.
And I think that there is just generally a wistfulness for the grand old days of, $30,000 and $40,000 for a national TV spot, where
they still exist, Graeme. They do exist.
It does still exist, but there's an increasing amount of that stuff that's going non-union, and it's certainly not paying nearly as well. there's just a general level of concern and of resentment that the rates, the average rates seem to be decreasing.
So the next conference, there's WOVO. And are you a member of WOVO?
I am a member of World Voices, and they have a mini conference happening in Toronto in May.
Oh.
And they have their full conference happening in the fall in Las Vegas, which is where it always is. There's a conference in London, England, coming up at the end of April called One Voice. And I'm going to that one, actually. They invited me over to speak at that conference. I'm looking forward to it.
When is that?
That is at the end of April, April 26 to 29, I believe, are the dates.
Oh, you might be able to go for the wedding somewhere around there too, dear. You might get a nice cup of tea and go. Oh, that'd be lovely. You can go say hello to Harry and his new little bride. Oh, that'd be lovely. She's American, She is.
She is American, so I hear.
She is. And it's like, no, but isn't that great? That should be, hopefully get good tickets, to get over there, But no, that's cool. I love how vocal those guys are. I love the London contingent and Manchester, really. They just have I love seeing those guys online. I love seeing them on Twitter, and they just look like just people you want to hang with, It's nice to have a community. It's really great.
There's a very active group of voice actors in the greater London area. And there was actually quite a contingent of Brits at VO Atlanta, and really quite looking forward to getting reacquainted to some of them when I go to One Voice in London at the end of April.
So what is One Voice? What are they going to do? Do they have a mission statement or?
It's an educational conference, not unlike VO Atlanta. There's going to be, dozens of speakers speaking on a wide assortment of topics, both performance related, business and marketing related, and industry related. So, it's going to be of benefit, I would hope, to voice actors of all levels in the UK and in the EU. And this is the inaugural one, and it's being run by the people who are behind Gravy for the Brain, which is an online.
Unfortunate title. Yeah, it's not. I don't think of Yorkie pudding. Okay, when I think of just a gooey, mess, which is unfortunate.
I've had the discussion with them about their name, and they are committed to it. So
yeah, God love them. So but they seem like lovely people, and I like I love the association, and I love the community of it. So when you first got into voiceover, did you first set out and you started doing seminars, or you were how did that go about? How did you start hitting all these conferences? Because you've hit, I'm telling you should have like a passport for it. I mean, it's amazing. You've done so many.
Well, certainly because of my role as the managing director of a big educational voiceover educational firm, that definitely got me out and attending the majority of conferences. But my very first conference was something called FAFCon, which is a fairly small conference. It was in Anaheim that year. And it through FAFCon and the associations that I made there that have led to all of the relationships with American organizations and American actors that have, I met George Whittam there, and it was through George Whittam that I met many others. And it was certainly, I don't regret having spent the time that I have at the various conferences that I've attended.
I have a question for, and this is because I've not attended, many. Does it cost a lot to go to these things? I mean, do they have a cheaper rate for hotels and stuff typically, or, and it's usually 3 days or something like that you're going, like a weekend?
To most people, something like Voiceover Atlanta is going to be a $1,500 investment, because you're going to have to spend $500 for the conference admission. The rooms were, $99 or $119 a night. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have to feed yourself while you're there. Sure. The conference throws in, lunches usually are included, but breakfast and dinner, you're on your own. And then you have to fly there. But the nice thing about Atlanta, Hartsfield-Jackson or Jackson-Hartsfield, whatever the name of the Atlanta airport is literally the largest airport in the world, I think. And
right now, yeah.
And it is very inexpensive to fly to Atlanta from pretty much anywhere. So no matter where you are in America, you can usually get to Atlanta for $300. So
nice.
It can be fairly cost effective.
Cool. So, and there's all these different things that you can sign up for at each of these things. Is that correct? And you can, and you just meet and greet and as it were. And so when do you recommend someone already is trained and has a demo, and then now they're trying to find out more about marketing and just kind of connecting with the community and staying current with the industry to go to these things? Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of sessions on various business development and marketing topics, industry topics. In addition, at this particular conference, there was a number of agents there you could read for agents, and I know that there was a number of people who got signed to agents as a result of having met them at the conference this year.
I saw Heather Virgo was there from Atlas here in LA. And who else was there that I knew? And I thought, oh, that's good,
Yeah.
And it's great.
Marilyn Wisner was there, who's
she always goes. She's lovely.
She's lovely. She's a lot of fun. A very busy casting director in LA.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Umberger, who's a local Atlanta boy and runs an agency out of Atlanta, was there. Roger King, who has rosters in Toronto, Montreal, and New York, was there. There was a number of agents there who were actively looking for talent. So
that's great. That's awesome.
Actors to be in attendance, even if you weren't a newbie.
So, but it sounds like that, who would benefit most from it is someone who already has a demo, or, maybe in the first year or two of your career, as you're getting started. It just seems to me that would probably be the most beneficial, at that stage of your.
I honestly think there's a lot on offer for people at all stages of their careers, whether you're brand new to the business or a seasoned veteran. You just kind of pick and choose what's of most benefit to you.
So great. I'm actually more encouraged with, what you can get out of those things than I love when you speak. Frankly, I think you're such a great moderator and host. I think that, I'm not a good host. Obviously, I'm not very good at this.
Thank you, Kate. It's kind of you to say that. I do enjoy speaking at these conferences or moderating panels. In fact, moderating panels, I think, is one of my favorite things to do, because you could really get into some meaty issues, and voice actors are generally not scared to speak their minds. So I do enjoy the panel discussions a lot.
So in conclusion then, in terms of conferences, because there are quite a few of them, how many would you say there are a year? There's probably about 4 or 5 or?
Yeah, there's 4 or 5. And I guess my final word on this, there's a real benefit to attending these conferences, but I don't think that someone should attend a conference at the expense of the basics, which is doing coaching, doing training, producing good demos. I mean, if you've got enough money after looking after those basics to spend $1,500, which is a tax write-off, and attend a conference, absolutely. I highly recommend it. But don't think that attending a conference is going to be a replacement from a training standpoint for sitting down with someone like you, Kate, or your partner, Jeff, and really taking good one-on-one coaching and becoming proficient at the art of voice acting.
Right. And really continue to develop those skills and hone that muscle, the performance muscle. It just has to be like top notch. And so getting the training, getting all that in, and I appreciate that, you saying that, because I totally, and obviously I agree, but I'm, kind of shooting fish in a barrel on that one, but I truly do. And this is why we offer the training we do. This is why we do private, because everybody, it's a case by case basis. We want to deal with everyone. You're not going to do voiceover in a group. That's why I think these conferences might be really beneficial to people, because you do need a sense of community, and we do this as human beings. We're tribal, and we want to have, where's our tribe? Where's our peeps? That's
just
good.
Just to wrap up, Kate, the one last point I want to make is that the voice acting community are the nicest people in the world. They really are. And I'm constantly amazed at these conferences when I attend them, how down to earth and approachable even the people at the very top of the business are. And I have countless stories of people who are brand new to the business and were very intimidated coming to a conference like VO Atlanta. And they get to sit next to Townsend Coleman at lunch, and he makes you feel like you're the most important person in his life at that particular moment. I mean, these people are just so wonderful to sit and talk with. There's no snobbery, there's no elitism. And that's one of the things that I love most about the voiceover community.
That's great. I love it. Well, this was great. This was a really great, that was fun.